Jakob stood at the edge of the auction barn, his small hands balled into fists, heart hammering against his ribs. The place smelled of damp hay, sweat, and the thick, almost suffocating scent of animals penned too close together. Around him, the murmur of the crowd hummed like restless bees, an indistinct buzz of farmers and ranchers scouting for their next purchase. Dust swirled in the stale air, kicked up by restless hooves and the constant shuffle of boots against the wooden floors. His gaze locked onto the frail horse standing in the ring, a creature so pitiful that most had turned away without a second glance. Its ribs jutted out like broken piano keys beneath a dull, lifeless coat. Its mane was tangled and unkempt, a stark contrast to the sleek, well-groomed horses that had paraded before it. The animal's head drooped, and its eyes, deep, weary pools of sorrow, spoke of years of neglect, of hardship, of battles fought and lost. To the others, it was nothing more than a burden, a waste of money and effort, something to be cast aside, deemed unworthy of another chance. But to Jakob, it was something else entirely. A chance to prove that even the most broken could be mended. The auctioneer's voice rang out over the barn, though it lacked its usual enthusiasm. He knew there was little chance of finding a buyer for this one. "We have here an old gelding, weak but still standing," he droned, his tone barely concealing his lack of hope. "Do I have an opening bid?" Silence. People shifted restlessly, eyes glancing away, uninterested in the bony creature before them. A few chuckled under their breath. "Not worth the feed," a man muttered near the back. "That thing won't last a week," another scoffed. Jakob's fingers curled tighter around the small bundle of crumpled bills in his pocket, the sum of months of chores, saved penny by penny. His father's voice echoed in his head, a lesson repeated countless times. Only a fool spends his money on something that can't pay him back. But Jakob didn't care. The auctioneer called out again, searching the crowd for any takers. Another moment passed, then another. The horse shuffled its weight, ears flicking as if sensing the rejection filling the room. Jakob's heart clenched, and then, before he could second-guess himself, his hand shot up. A stunned hush fell over the barn. Then came the laughter. A kid? Bidding on that? What's he going to do, keep it in his backyard? Jakob's face burned, but he stood firm, feet planted, jaw set. He had made up his mind. The auctioneer hesitated before smirking. "Well, well, do we have another bid?" Silence. "Sold." The gavel struck, and just like that, Jakob became the owner of the most overlooked horse at the auction. Leading Thunder home was no easy task. The horse's legs wobbled with every step, and there were moments when Jakob feared he might collapse before they even reached the barn. The other villagers watched from their porches, shaking their heads, murmuring to one another as Jakob passed. "A waste of money," one woman tisked, wiping her hands on her apron. "Poor boy, he'll learn," an old rancher muttered, spitting tobacco onto the dirt road. Jakob ignored them. He had learned long ago that real change never comes from listening to doubters. Once they reached his family's small stable, he guided Thunder into a makeshift paddock. The horse barely made it inside before sinking to his knees, exhaustion taking its toll. Jakob's heart clenched, but he refused to let fear take root. He kneeled beside the frail animal, running a gentle hand along his dusty, sweat-drenched coat. "It's okay," he whispered. "I won't let anything happen to you." The first few days were rough. Thunder wouldn't eat. He barely moved, his breathing slow and labored. Some nights, Jakob would sneak out of bed just to sit with him, reading aloud from his father's old ranching books, hoping the sound of his voice would bring some kind of comfort. "You gotta eat," he urged one night, holding out a handful of grain. "I need you to try." Thunder exhaled weakly, his nostrils flaring slightly. He nudged the grain but did not take a bite. Jakob swallowed hard, frustration curling in his stomach. His father would call him foolish. His neighbors would call him naive. But he refused to give up. Through trial and error, he mixed oats, carrots, and a blend of crushed herbs a kind old farmer recommended. Then, on the 5th day, something changed. Thunder hesitated, then stretched his neck forward and took a tentative bite. Jakob's breath caught. "That's it, buddy," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "You're gonna be okay." From that day on, things improved. Thunder ate more, stood longer, even took a few hesitant steps. Jacob brushed him every morning, talking to him about everything and nothing. "You remind me of Dad," he admitted one night, running a hand along Thunder's growing frame. Stubborn, but he never gave up. As Thunder grew stronger, Jacob introduced him to short walks around the property. Every day, the frail horse became a little steadier, his once sunken eyes gaining a spark of life. Months passed, and Thunder transformed. His coat, once dull and matted, took on a rich, golden sheen. His steps, once shaky and uncertain, grew confident. But it wasn't just Thunder who changed. Jacob changed too. He learned patience. He learned resilience. And more than anything, he learned that real strength isn't just about muscle, it's about heart. One crisp morning, Jacob led Thunder out into the open fields. He ran a hand over the saddle he had carefully placed on the horse's back. "I won't make you do anything you're not ready for," he promised, "but I think you're stronger than you know." Thunder flicked his ears, considering. Then, with a deep breath, Jacob mounted. For a moment, there was stillness. Then, Thunder took a step, another, and then, as if something inside him finally clicked, he broke into a gallop. The wind roared past Jacob's ears, and for the first time in his life, he felt truly free. Laughter bubbled up from his chest, unrestrained and wild. "That's it, boy," he called. "I knew you could do it." As they raced across the fields, Jacob realized something. He had saved Thunder, but in the end, Thunder had saved him too.